Welcome to another NFR tier list on the Plus channel, and in today's video, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be going through 40 different nicknames of rappers and ranking them based on how we feel like they're fitting for the rapper, how iconic they are, whatever the case may be, from bad to perfect. And you wanted to say something, bro.
Do you even want to rank these? what's the parameter? Okay, what's your strategy
the
for today?
parameter for this has to be like, does this shit have a ring to it? You know, like it needs to have a ring
so
to it.
So it has to have like the.
It needs to fit the rapper.
The eye and the ear test.
Yeah, it needs to fit the rapper. When you think of the rapper, you got to be like, this makes sense for this person. You know?
Yeah. All right. So fuck it. Let's
get
start
it
this
started
off.
with Six God for Drake, the man with a million names. Some call him Aubrey, some call him Drizzy, the Drizzler, Champagne Pappy.
Yeah.
And also the Six God. And let me ask you this before we rank it: do you feel like Kendrick has done permanent damage to the Six God name with he has 69 God? No?
It was a good flip, though. It was a fire flip. But regardless, though, didn't you feel like it's a bit like too over-eccentric kind of thing? Like
the Six God?
Like, do you think so? Like,
I mean, like so many rappers call themselves gods, and like he's just talking about like his area code and the six boroughs of Toronto. Like it makes sense.
I get it, but do you think that like it almost feels like a gamer tag to a certain extent?
It does.
Like an OG gamer tag?
It does, but I also think about like how he's used it in music and like the whole Six God Black Boy, Six God Black Boy. That's hard as fuck. I'm the Six God, I'm the front runner. Like I like the way he's used it in his songs.
Ooh,
I would go great.
I think it's good.
No, it's gotta go great, bro. Come on. How iconic is the name? He literally has a song called Six God.
I guess. All right.
You gotta give the great rating to that. I could even gone amazing.
All right, let's go on to Young Thug. And apparently he wanted to permanently change his name to this. I'm actually not sure if there's like court documents on this and shit. But is
whatever happened to? By the way, it's sex.
Yeah, it's sex.
Crazy. Imagine like getting a new girlfriend and like getting introduced to her parents and being like, "Nice to meet you. I'm sex." Like, how does that go down?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Imagine like your government ID reads sex.
In all caps, by the way.
All caps.
When he tweeted he was changing his name, it was all caps.
But by the way, this was never like legally done.
Probably. Not that I know
because there was all the court documents that ended up like surfacing online for everything that had happened with the RICO case, and it didn't fucking say sex on them. It said, you know, his name Jeffrey, whatever the case may be. So
I feel like it's just a good nickname because I feel like a solid nickname has to catch on. You know, when you think of like the Juice for OJ. Or like the Sandman for Adam Sandler. Like everyone is kind of familiar with it.
That's the most goated like nickname of all time is the Sandman.
Yeah, that's a pretty
that's
iconic
the most
name.
goated like fucking nickname of all time. But regardless though,
I don't think
sex
this has...
is good. It's good. I put it in a good category.
Okay. Good just because of how ridiculous it is, I guess.
Well, not only that, but kind of speaks to his personality, low key. Like over the top, larger than life type of dude. Get what I'm trying to see? Yeah.
Eccentric. Yeah. Okay. Next up, though, we have LaFlame for Travis Scott. This is a cool one just because he has so many ad-libs where he says LaFlame. And apparently to him, like, it represents just the passion for his music and, like, this fiery energy that he brings about.
Sounds like a hockey team.
Yeah, it sounds like a hockey team too.
Sounds like
the flame, the Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
Or it also sounds like
a 70s hockey player that played for the Montreal Canadiens.
Or if Travis and LeBron were ever to like collaborate on something, like you just have Le Flame.
Le Flame.
Le Flame. You know?
Le Flame.
Le Flame.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's nothing crazy.
All right, let's keep going on with this.
K.Dot. K.Dot for Kendrick Lamar. I mean, this was his first ever rapper name, and then he changed it, of course, to Kendrick Lamar. I always thought to myself, though, I'm like, it would have made sense if like his real rapper name now is like Kendrick Lamar, but like I guess the first K.Dot name, did it have a dot in it or was it just?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I guess that makes.
I think it technically still does actually.
No,
it doesn't. It's pure like this.
It's Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, I see the dot actually on the page. You're right.
I
thought you meant the other way around.
No.
I know that one. It's pretty cool. It's good. It's his first rapper name though.
Yeah.
Would you go mid with it?
I mean, it's pretty. I think it did catch on though. Like it's widespread to the point that like people made different iterations of K.Dot. You know, like think about like Drake calling him Dot or other people calling him Dot. Like it became a very popular nickname.
That's true. Would you go great with it then?
I'd go good.
Go good with it?
I go good.
Yeah.
It's kind of simple. It's nothing crazy.
All right,
next up, though, we have TittyBoi for 2 Chainz, and this sounds like a nickname that you give to a kid who's still getting breastfed at like 5 years old. Like you just like someone like just for the it sounds like it's.
What did you just say?
Bro, that's a real TittyBoi, bro. Someone that's still being breastfed like beyond the point where they're supposed to. Like that's what I think of. But I mean, apparently, what's interesting is that 2 Chainz himself said that he was a mama's boy and that he was an only child and that he absolutely like just had a strong relationship with his mom, and that's why he went with that rapper name. Pretty nuts.
I'm still kind of fucking trying to figure out like how you could name yourself TittyBoi though.
Yeah.
Like what comes down to it?
Like
what is the?
How don't you get clowned for that? You know. It's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy, but it's perfect though. It's actually the perfect.
No, it's not a
name.
perfect
It's a
name.
perfect name.
You can't take a rapper serious with that name.
It's perfect. No, it's TittyBoi.
No, it's not perfect. I have that as like we're gonna have to like go in the middle. I have it as like good, just because it's funny.
Okay, we'll
So,
go great.
Go great with it. All right,
we'll
TittyBoi and great. Next up, Lil Boat for Lil Yachty. This is kind of it fits in with Lil Yachty, I guess, right? It's like the next best thing to it, Lil Boat. But it's just
I always
like,
felt that it was kind of mid. I know it kind of plays into his branding or whatever the case may be, and his album covers are all super hard. But
what if it was like a
regardless.
little bicycle or a little bus,
What happens to the little tricycle?
a little tricycle,
Yeah,
little moped?
A little rollerblades.
Yeah.
You got a couple of them over there.
There's all modes of transportation, you know? Like, forget the Concrete Boys, just build a rapper group with all of those names.
Little locomotive. Hey, that's actually hard.
Lil Kayak.
Little
There you go.
kayak.
That's
It's
a
mid.
mid-name.
It's
It's
for
a mid-name for sure. Next up, though, Yeezy for Kanye West. I don't know if a more legendary nickname exists. I mean, the guy literally named his whole fucking fashion brand after his nickname.
You could even say that, like, well, yeah, kind of inspired Yeezus for sure.
Like the album Yeezus or
Well, yeah.
the
because-
Yeezy brand, you're saying?
No, the Yeezus album, the album
Oh,
title
yeah.
for it, because he was obviously known as Yeezy, and he wanted to obviously be named close to Jesus Christ of Nazareth, which is kind of fucking crazy when you think about it. But regardless, though,
I get a call like, well, you Yeezy. Like, just
no,
even the way it's been
it perfect?
used in hip-hop songs, I mean, it's a perfect name.
It is
without
a perfect
doubt.
name. Fuck yeah, put it in the perfect category. All right, Lil B, the bass god. Again, bro, I think this is a perfect name.
This is a perfect name.
Yeah, that you can't-
especially for how well it's aged. I mean, like he coined this
Yeah.
nickname for himself like in 2010, and like now everyone uses based. You know, it turned into a popular meme.
He's the bass god.
He's the based god.
There's like a certain lore around Lil B, bro, that can never be broken. Do you think he has one of the strongest lores in hip hop history?
He does.
He definitely does.
He has some of the most music ever released in hip hop history.
He's the fucking bass god, bro.
He's the bass god. You can't
He's
fuck
just,
with him.
He's just based.
He's
Perfect.
the father.
Perfect rating for Lil B.
Bass god. Next up, I might have a controversial opinion here, but we have Nasty Nas for Nas. Bro, come on.
It sounds kind of like
Like a porn star name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
It's the first. Like, if you told that name to someone that like wasn't a hip hop fan, that's exactly the first place their mind would go towards.
Absolutely.
It's just how can it not, right?
It's mid.
I get why he used it. It's like, you know, I'm nasty with the pen. Like I'll fuck you up lyrically,
you think it's
but
just
I
our
mean,
perverted minds?
no, I don't think so. I think this is everyone like is gonna think of it this way.
Well, actually, we'll go tell my father right after this
Yes.
recording, and we'll say like, "What's the first thing you think of when you hear this name?"
Yeah, like no, we'll tell him like, do you know Nasty Nas? And he's probably gonna say like,
He's gonna tell me to go fuck myself.
literally.
He's gonna tell me. He's gonna think. He's gonna.
He will.
He's gonna think I'm joking.
We're gonna try it out.
Yeah, we'll
Next
try it
up though,
after.
we have Pluto for
But
Future.
no. Wait, we didn't rank it.
We said mid, didn't we?
Oh, I said mid. I just didn't know if you.
Oh
agreed with it.
yeah, it's definitely a mid nickname. But next up, we have Pluto for Future.
I love this one.
Fucking legendary. This is an amazing nickname to me.
It
I
is.
mean, it even inspired Uzi's nickname of Baby Pluto.
For sure.
Well, just imagine how badass that is that you're getting fucking nicknamed after a planet, or at least what used to be a
Because you're
planet.
out of here. You're so far away from Earth that no one could fuck with you.
Like no one's close to you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Amazing in my books.
Amazing nickname.
All right.
Next up, this is one of my favorites, Mr. Worldwide for Pitbull. This one is perfect because it's fucking comedy. Like, think about how many times you've been at a club, a party, some kind of function, and you looked at your friend and like when the right song came on, like you just simultaneously said, you know, Mr. Worldwide at the same time. And it puts you in a euphoric phase.
Are we really going perfect though?
This is a perfect fucking nickname. Bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's true.
This is a perfect, like, it's so legendary,
I
bro.
think I wouldn't sleep tonight if I knew that this didn't go into the perfect
Come on, you
category.
got to do it for Pitbull. I mean,
Absolutely. Pitbull's getting it.
what about Mr. 305? If that was in the
No.
list, it wouldn't have had the same
It's
ring.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah,
It's Mr. Worldwide.
yeah, it has to be.
It's like a little B sort of situation where there's so much lore.
There is so much
It's
lore.
oozing with lore that you can't. What are you gonna do? How could you
gotta do
fight
it.
back that much lore? Too much lore.
And he puts it at the start of so many of his songs that are hits, like Time of Our Lives, etc. But anyways, next up, Slim Shady for Eminem, the name for his alter ego. Apparently, Eminem said that he created this so that he could say all the shit that he wasn't allowed to say in real life. So, I mean...
It created one of the most like iconic alter egos of all time. There's been concept records made around this alter ego and this nickname. It's perfect again.
Perfect nickname
For
without
sure.
a
Absolutely.
fucking doubt. And even
Perfect
in terms of
character.
recognition, like, everyone knows Slim Shady.
Absolutely.
Next up, though, we have Hove for Jay-Z. And Jay-Z has referred to himself as Jehovah, which is another way of calling himself God. And, of course, within Jehovah,
There's Hove.
you have Hove. And that's where you got it from.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool.
It's like a 3-letter word to be able to describe it.
I think what's dope is that it's like when other rappers refer to him as Hove, which a lot of people have called him Hove in songs, interviews, whatever, they're kind of calling him the God MC without
Knowing
like
it.
purposely doing it.
Yeah.
So I found that kind of cool.
I think
but
it's
like,
a great nickname.
It's a great nickname.
For sure.
It's a great nickname without a doubt. Next up, though, we have Peggy for JPEG Mafia. This is interesting. I just feel like it's more of like a cat name. Like Peggy, I always felt like it was more of a name that like you give a cat. I don't know. Like it's not my
but
favorite.
I like it though.
But there are some people that have the name, so maybe I'm just tripping.
No, it's a good nickname.
You think it's good?
Yeah, it's playing into his JPEG name. It's not too overcomplicated. It plays close to home. It's cool, and I always like the name Peggy.
All right,
it's fire.
Well, we'll go
Again,
good. I
there's
would
a
have
bit of
gone
a-
mid, but I'll budge with it.
Yeah, no. There's definitely some good stuff.
Next
there.
up,
Good.
Tony Starks for Ghostface Killa. This comes because Ghostface was a huge fan of the MCU and, of course, of the Iron Man character. Literally has an album
Called
titled
Iron Man. Always referred to himself as Iron Man as well.
It's cool. I mean,
Yeah, you're not too pleased
to
with
me,
it?
it's just like when you have a rapper name like Ghostface Killa, you don't need any other like nickname. Like you're fucking Ghostface Killa. Like that's the most legendary rap name ever. Like it's just
I'd
I
go great
don't
with
know.
it again. I think it's a great nickname. It's Tony
I-
Stark.
I would do good with it, but I mean,
It's great for sure.
all right,
It's Tony
sure.
Stark. It's better than Peggy. That's for sure.
Sure. All right. Next up, Guwop for Gucci Mane. I mean, who doesn't love hearing Gucci say Guwop on a record? Always hypes you up. Apparently, Gucci in 2016, like he put out like what it stood for, which he was obviously bullshitting. He said, "Get your weight up, pussy," is what it stood for. Which, if you follow the acronym of that, it doesn't even make any sense. But it's a name that definitely has a lot of recognition.
It has a lot of recognition.
It's good to me.
Yeah, it's a good rating for
Good
sure.
nickname. Next
Uh,
up.
Joey Crack for Fat Joe.
I love this one. It's hilarious. Sounds like a Sopranos character.
Sounds like something Joey Diaz would get into on a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yep.
Joey Crack.
Joey Crack.
But regardless, though, like
There's a funny backstory. Apparently, in his neighborhood, like the girls in his neighborhood would actually gave him this nickname because every time that like he would stand up from sitting down, like his ass crack would show, and they just started calling him Joey Crack. Pretty crazy.
so he flipped it, into using it as a crack dealer.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know. Bro. It's a bit of a fucking stretch. All right, listen.
It's original. It's cool. It's funny. I'd go great with Joey Crack. Come on. It's Joey Crack.
Bro, that's looky mid.
Nah.
Yeah, that's that mid pack. No way. Yeah, fuck out of here.
I've been budging for you.
You've been budging. I've
Yeah.
been budging. Bro, it's fucking Joey Crack.
Come on, it's Joey Crack. It sounds like a Sopranos character. It's hilarious.
You're giving flack to Yachty for having Lil Boat. Bro, his name's literally fucking Joey Crack.
We're fine, man.
And
We're
it's
good.
named after his ass crack.
We're going good. You want it to go mid? We'll meet in the middle. Next up, the chef for Raekwon.
I love this nickname.
It's so dope. I mean, the
He's
chef's
cooking.
always cooking up, yeah?
He's always cooking, always cooking that heat. Absolutely. I think it's a great nickname.
Great nickname, without a doubt. Next up, Weezy for Lil Wayne. Can you do a Weezy? There you go. It's iconic as fuck, man. Like, the amount of times he said Weezy F baby. And he has a lot of iconic nicknames. There's fucking Tunchi.
There's a bunch of different shit.
So many. But yeah, Weezy is a perfect nickname.
Oh, for sure. That's going right into the perfect category. Okay.
Big Poppa
Poppa
for
for
Biggie.
Biggie.
This is cool. He made a whole song about it and how, like, girls love to call him that when he's getting into that flirtatious bag. It's a fitting nickname for him as well. I would go with a good rating, great rating.
Yeah, you think so?
Good, I guess.
Great.
Okay, you can go great.
Big Papa's great,
Yeah.
bro. Literally
All right.
plays into the persona. No way.
Okay, next up, Lil Pumpernickel for Lil Pump. And this is an interesting one just because this is not one that Lil Pump created himself. This is lore on the internet.
And this
Everybody
is,
started.
and this This is NFR's lore.
Is it? I don't think we could take credit for taking like.
No, we can't take credit. You're right, but it's very strong and prominent.
It is prominent, and shout out to Pumpernickel bread, bro.
Pumpernickel bread is hard as fuck,
Yeah.
especially when
Serious
you toast it
bread.
and you put a bit of bread, like a bit of honey and butter on there.
Yeah,
Shit's crazy.
can't go wrong.
Can't fucking go wrong with that.
But yeah, it's funny. It's a bad nickname though, for being honest.
Absolutely.
Like that's why he's never like owned it, because why
he's
would
never
you
been on
want
the good
to?
side of a tier list, bro.
He's never not even on a nickname.
Can't even get a. This guy can never get a fucking break.
Literally.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Wunna for Gunna. Young Wunna Gunna.
Taking nothing but W's. I like it became such a popular thing to do on the internet, like replace the first letter of their name with a W, and he made a whole fucking album after it.
I think it's good.
It's good. It's not the most creative, but next up, Cudder for Kid Cudi. It's just so boring to me. I'm gonna be honest. It's such a boring. It's bad to me.
It's bad.
It's a lazy play on words. Like it's boring. Who even like refers to him as like Cudder that often?
Could you say Mr. Rager's his nickname too?
That's another one. Yeah, he has a couple. The Moon Man. Like he's got some.
It's as bad as Lil Pumpernickel. Is it as bad as Lil Pumpernickel?
I guess it's mid. It's just boring.
It's mid,
It doesn't
but that's
do
it. It's
anything.
mid.
At least Lil
It's mediocre.
Pumpernickel makes you laugh.
Yeah, but
what
that's
does
a
this
bad
one
one.
do?
But that's awkwardly bad though.
But what does this one do?
It does nothing. That's why it's mid. It's
All
mediocre.
right, fine, mid name. Next up, the Snowman for Yeezy. I mean, this is cool just because Yeezy's persona has always revolved around selling that white. And I think that it took on a whole name for his fan base too, where it's like the Snowmen, right? Like
playing
natural born hustlers, playing into that whole persona. It's a good name to me.
Yeah, calling his recent album Snowfall, obviously. Yeah,
he always played into it, but it's a good name.
It's nothing too crazy.
You know?
All right, let's go to the next one. Makaveli for Tupac. I've always adored this name, bro. I love this one, bro. And of course, there's so much lore behind Makaveli just because, he was someone that apparently, always spoke about faking his death and wrote about it. And Tupac was very infatuated with his writing and obviously made a whole fucking concept album of around Makaveli's work and applied it into gangster rap. So that in its own is such a crazy concept. Would you go perfect or amazing? I think I'd go amazing.
I'd go amazing, and it's such a cold-blooded name, especially when you attach it to that era of Tupac, where he was just at his most aggressive and just filled with fucking rage. It was just an insane era. And cool backstory. Apparently, he named himself and changed it from Machiavelli to Makaveli because every man that he found to be great, he wanted to study them to a point where he knew so much about them that they weren't great to him anymore. That was the whole ideology of Tupac.
That's crazy.
It's fucking his mind worked on
a different time,
different playing field. But next up, Missionary Jack for Jack Harlow. This is his name on TikTok, and the reason apparently why he likes to call himself that is because you guessed it, it's his favorite position in the bedroom, and he sold merch with Missionary Jack on it. He's proud with it.
Hey man, listen, if he fucks with it, he fucks with it.
It's a bad nickname.
Oh, it's for sure a bad nickname. But listen, at least he's
it's
honest.
just cringe,
It is. I feel like you need to have there has to be obviously a certain feeling or lore around your nickname, but
and
it
you
can't
can make fun of yourself, but
it
it's
can't be
this
too
is,
much. Yeah,
it's too much.
Can't be
It's
too
too
much. Definitely bad.
Next up,
MF Doom, and his was the villain.
He had a lot. Though. He had Metal Face, Metal Fingers. He had Victor Vaughn. So many. But I always found it so cool that out of all the rappers in hip hop, you're the guy who's known as the villain of hip hop. That's just so badass.
And he prided himself on that as well. He was super anti-establishment within his records too. He was always an outcast in his own regard, and he appealed to a certain audience. It plays perfect into what he does. I think it's another amazing rating.
Absolutely.
Here. All right.
Next up, Cash Carti. He has a couple of nicknames. There's King Vamp as well, but I think Cash Carti's have been more known, and it just represents an era of his sound. Really, I feel that's all it really serves. It's not the most clever one. All he did was take his rapper name and add Cash in front of it.
But it's fire though. It's cool. Nothing more than good.
It's good at best.
It's good.
Next up, Mr. Baklava for Action Bronson. And nicknaming yourself after a fucking pastry is just the most Action Bronson thing ever to me.
Yeah, there's nothing. He knows how to live.
Yeah.
If there's a guy that knows how to live, it's fucking Action Bronson. He's probably cooking some crazy shit right now as we speak. I always found that was a great name. I love the persona behind it. Like you said, it's badass that you're able to play behind a fucking pastry. And I mean, listen, who doesn't like a nice dish of baklava? So
absolutely.
That's going into the great category. Let's go on to the next one. We have 3 stacks for Andre 3K. Again, I'm looking at the amazing rating for this.
Really?
I am.
I mean, it's just kind of like a twist of his rapper name, though, right? Like Andre 3000,
It's so
$3,000.
iconic, though. You don't find it so iconic?
It is iconic, I guess.
I find it iconic for 3 stacks.
I would go great with it, though.
Yeah, we could go great.
I don't think it's anything too crazy. But next up, Sosa for Chief Keef.
I don't think you get a
Bro,
better name than
I think it's to the point that, like, in discourse online, people refer to him more as Sosa than they do Chief Keef.
Would you crown this next to Yeezy as, like, the greatest nickname of all time for a rapper?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you have to at this point.
I think you do. And, like, everyone's referenced to Scarface in hip-hop. Like, the fact that he was able to attach himself to one of the most iconic characters from the movie, incredible.
Perfect rating for Chief Keef.
Chief Keef is Sosa.
Absolutely.
But next up, Zeltron for Denzel Curry.
I've always loved this name.
I've always loved this name. I like that he took, like, the last 3 letters of his first name and sort of, like, fucking, I guess, merged it with, like, Megatron, maybe. I don't know if that's really what he tried to do, but it just sounds like the name of, like, a superhero or, like, a comic book character of some sorts.
For sure.
Like, it really, it's really cool.
It plays into that, like, intergalactic sort of
Yeah,
lore
that
he
too.
built up within his earlier catalog, right? So I really like it. I think it's a great nickname.
Great nickname. Next up, the Doc for Dr. Dre. It's pretty straightforward, right? The guy's name is Dr. Dre. People are gonna call you the Doctor or Doc.
There we go.
Like, it's just
It's a good nickname.
It's good.
Nothing
Next
more
up, Young Sinatra for Logic. Simple once again. Logic has cited Frank Sinatra as his biggest musical influence. You know, it's kind of like a fanboy type of nickname, I guess. He has a whole mixtape series revolved around it. It's kind of mid to me. Like, it's just,
Why? He's paying homage to Frankie.
okay, he's playing homage to Frankie, but, like, what if, like, his name was, like, Young Rakim? Would you look at it the same way? You know, it's like, why? It's just, I don't know.
But it's, again, there's an iconic mixtape attached to it. Like, there's a
I
series.
guess.
There's a series.
So what do you want to do? You want to do good?
I want to do good with it.
We'll
It's a
do
good nickname.
All right. Next up, Rozay for Rick Ross. I mean, I always found that it was cool that, like, he promotes, like, the Bel Air champagne and, like, the rosé. It's like rosé promoting rosé. But it's just a cool nickname. It's nothing more than that.
Nothing crazy.
Good?
Yeah, good with it. Again.
Another good. That's the popular fucking rating for the tier list.
Next
up, Young Draco for Soulja Boy.
I was never a fan of this nickname.
Yeah, neither was I. Mid.
It's mid, bro.
Mid name.
Well, what do you get out of it?
Nothing. Next up, Wolf Haley for Tyler, the Creator. So Wolf Haley, of course, it's a voice in Tyler's head. It's one of his alter egos.
Let me ask you this: does it knock down points because maybe it's not accessible to the public as much as it used to be? And
Yeah,
it's kind of
I think it does. I think it does knock off points.
Does it like?
It's like if you're not, like, huge into the Wolf album, or if you haven't heard Yonkers, like, you might be a bit confused. Like, it just doesn't have the notoriety. I'd go with mid or good with it. What do you want to do? You want to do mid?
It's hard because it is a mid though because there was an entire storyline created behind it.
That's true. We can go
There's
good,
a lot of
I
work.
guess.
No, it's good again.
Okay.
Sure.
Next up, we have Tekashi for 6ix9ine.
What does this mean?
Apparently, he was a huge fan of, like, Japanese anime characters, and this was a popular name within it. It's better than his real rapper name. I'll give it that much. But
yeah, mid.
Anything associated to the
this guy.
career, I feel like it's just gonna automatically not
This
be
guy's
good.
Mid.
Mid or bad?
Fuck it, get him in the bad.
Get him in the
bro.
bad. Fucking throw him in there.
Just get him in there. Bro.
Next up, we're the last two. We have YB for Young Boy Never Broke Again. I mean, we saw the power and impact of
It's
YB.
powerful.
It's powerful.
It's a powerful one. You can't fuck
It
around with it.
rules the comment sections on the internet.
It does.
to this day.
This one's oozing with power.
Great.
Yeah, it's for sure a great nickname.
It's a great nickname. It's just an abbreviation.
It's the power, though.
Yeah, it's
the power. It's the power. Sometimes you don't need a complicated nickname or a witty one.
absolutely.
You just need 2 letters, and that's
Yep.
YB.
All right. Next up, we have Smiggs for Smiley. It's so funny. It doesn't even sound like a nickname. It sounds like more of like a sound to me, like Smiggs. Like, it sounds like that. Drake kind of made it popular when it was heard on the Bobby Altoff podcast when he said, like, if I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my boy Smiggs. Cool nickname, I guess. Nothing much to it, though, right?
Nothing crazy.
So good?
Mid.
Mid? All right, we're going to do mid. We're going to end off with a mid rating for Smiggs. Guys, let us know down in the comment section. What is your favorite nickname for a rapper? What is your least favorite
I think
nickname
this was
for
our
a
most
rapper?
unserious tier list ever.
It was.
But how the fuck you going to rank these?
How could you do it
it's
seriously?
just like on a blank of like
it's
what you
impossible. But yeah, guys, let us know what tier list should we do in the future. And if you are enjoying the NFR Plus channel, we got videos coming every single week. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon. Peace.